let's go now to the next one. This is is that's a really interesting name, my friend. I hope I'm not being rude here. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced different. Kaniuk. I'm not gonna say it just because I don't want like Twitch or like YouTube to like flag us or whatever. Unfortunately, they are quite immature in that sense. So Kaniuk, this is a very nice portfolio. We're also seeing some like hard surf stuff. I would give you the first advice, or the same advice that I just gave the past portfolio, which is make sure that your thumbnails are quite engaging, right? Simone, yeah, let's go with Simone. Let's go Simone. So Simone Kaniuk right here. So this one right here, I like it, but again, this is a very common thing that I see in portfolios where we tend to go for really simple elements. I'm not saying this is an easy one. Like, I know it took you a couple of hours and everything to do the modeling, texturing, everything. And again, the textures look fine. It definitely looks a little bit too shiny for all of the damage that we see on the leather, so that's not as consistent. However, when we're dealing with simple assets, my advice is try to do a small little scene. So this telephone, for instance, or some of these weapons right here, they definitely would benefit more from having more elements around them. A can, a couple of papers, a table, something just to indicate that like where we expect to see them. Now I'm seeing a constant here on this one, my friend, and this is an important one. This do look very high quality, like in terms of textile density and resolution. This definitely look quite high on the scale. And I'm not seeing UVs, and I'm not seeing wireframes. So, once more, wireframes and UVs, the breakdowns of these elements are going to be important. Yeah, I mean, the main feedback that I have for your portfolio, Kaniuk, is the simplicity of the objects. The execution, the technical execution on these objects is really good. Like, your textures are amazing. They look great. But I'm not seeing the technical breakdowns, which will allow me to evaluate other things, and they're relatively simple things, right? Relatively simple things. One of the things that I would recommend for your particular portfolio, my friend, is let's go for something that's a little bit more ambitious. This is definitely getting there, but still I feel like it's relatively simple to do. For your level, right? Like for your level. I know some people are gonna be like, what do you mean simple? Like, this is not something that I could do. I'm just learning 3D and there's no way I could model this. I understand. When you're starting, yes, of course, all of these things are gonna look challenging. But right now, if we take a look at the whole like thing of or the whole like portfolio, all of them are sort of like on the exact same level of technical execution, right? We need a big piece. I'm gonna give you an example. Actually, like this is perfect. Let me change this to 2D. So if we go here to the 2D section of the, what is it, sci-fi or whatever, you want to try and do like big elements, right? Not necessarily just big in terms of like the size of the element, big in terms of complexity. So imagine if you showed something like this, right? What is this? This is like a railgun or something. This is difficult. Right? And I know you have the skills. Based on your portfolio, I know you can model this. The only difference between this model right here and all of the models that you've done, like this one right here, which is again very complex. Like, modeling this thing is not easy. It requires quite a bit of understanding of your subdivisions. That's why I encourage you to include the wireframe, because I want to see how you approach this, or if you just like booleans or something. It looks like you know your stuff. There you go. Yeah, so this is awesome, having this wireframe right here. So you know how to model this. I just want to know the try count, because this does feel a little bit heavy on the triangle count. But if you know how to model something like this, I know you know how to model something like this. The only difference is that this took probably 2 weeks of your time, and this is gonna probably take 6 weeks of your time, right? It is a big challenge. It is definitely something that's gonna like be time consuming. But imagine how like freaking awesome something like this would look on your portfolio, and how much it would like really like stand out from everyone else that's doing, again, the simple things. That's the reason why I pushed you guys so much into doing this kind of like more ambitious projects. Now, don't take this the wrong way, my friend. This advice is not just for you. It's for everyone watching right now. The type of projects you pick for your portfolio will vary depending on the stage you're in your learning path. This is a graph that I've talked about before. I think I'm gonna do another video about that, or we'll talk about this on the next live stream. Alan, just remind me about that one, because that's a fun little like lesson that I like to share. When you're junior, when you're learning the basics, when you're a noob, you don't focus on these big elements right here. It's not gonna benefit you. It's gonna make you feel like defeated, and it's gonna be really, really tricky to get to a nice level. When you're learning, when you're starting your journey, you do a lot of simple things so that you learn the tools, so that you learn the pipelines, so that you learn the workflows. When you're in the mid-level position where you're just getting hired, that's when you start going for like the bigger ones. This portfolio right here, to me, looks a lot more like a senior level portfolio in terms of the detail and the quality and the attention that I'm seeing, but it's not showing that on the level of complexity of the projects. So if we can do this, Kaniuk, if we can do something like this at this level that you have in terms of like modeling, texturing, presentation, that's gonna be such a powerful piece for your portfolio, man. And again, I know you have the skills. Now we need to ask if you have the time. Hopefully you do have the time to commit to this. Maybe this could be a personal project, and it's going to take you 6 months to complete, like 2 hours or 3 hours every other week or something like that. But once you finish it, it's going to be such a powerful piece for your portfolio.